On the 13th, the snowfall amounts varied from 10 inches in Oakland Park to 6 inches in the courthouse area to 4 inches in Dallas. We actually have a benefit in King George where we have an official National Weather Service spotter that lives in the Jersey area. And his report was 5 inches on the morning of the 13th. We received throughout the day 1.2 inches of rain, then snow/sleet, and thunder and lightning throughout the day. The second storm, we received 6 inches of heavy wet snow the evening of the 13th. I believe everybody's probably very familiar with that. The power outages, at the height of the outages, we almost reached about 4,600, and that includes both Dominion and Northern Net customers. And that was all during the second part of the phase of the storm. I want to show you something real quick when we show you the maps. This is a screenshot at 10 p.m., 12 p.m. Sorry. This is a Dominion map that we have access to as emergency managers. Another one. I do apologize. This is a screenshot from Dominion. This one's at 10:17 p.m. This shows you a little bit about the power outages that we had in the county at that time frame. The blue dots represent 0 to 50 customers without power. The green is 50 to 250, and the yellow, you can see the yellow right there, and that represents 250 to 1,000 customers affected. This particular image doesn't show the pinpoint accuracy of King George County, but the next shots will. This was the map that we were looking at of almost the entire Commonwealth. And you can see all of the power outages highlighted, a large concentration in King George County. You can see some in Richmond. You can see a little bit outside of D.C. A couple there on the Northern Neck Peninsula. But you can see that King George County was hit very heavily with power outages. That was at 10:12. This is a screenshot. All these red triangles that we have. This is actually in the Jersey Shiloh area, where these are all transformers. These are not residences. These are transformers that are down out of service. Well, one of the things we have access to being able to see the customers that are affected, but when we have periods like this, they don't give us restoration times. This was Northern X. You can see the shaded polygon there in King George County was a representation of about, you can see that they had 1,141 customers out within King George at this time. That was 10/21. Throughout this event, we also made preparations to open a shelter in the event that we needed to. The decision was made not to. The decision was made not to. We contemplated that. We went back and forth. One of the good things when we looked at this and we were talking to some of the officials from Dominion is that we had a large concentration of power workers that were here to fix the problem. So we saw the restoration moving very quickly. And was not a very widespread event across the state. We kept citizens informed using KG Alert. We put information out on our department website and also the use of Facebook. We did declare a local, made the recommendation to declare a local emergency. The overtime cost of the storm was about $16,200. We do not have the data from the schools thus far, and hopefully we'll get that this week. We also had a cost of about $1,300 in salt. We submitted the initial damage assessment report to the state today, and I think that's about it of all the talking points that we had. If there's any questions, I'm more than happy to answer any about the events of the storm. I will tell you that, that as far as the fire rescue side of things and the operations, we were hit very hard with calls. We received a large amount of call volume within a short time distance. We received, and I didn't bring the data with me tonight, but multiple motor vehicle accidents, multiple people are general emergencies with folks having trouble breathing, medical emergencies. We had a walk-in, somebody came to the station, fell ill. We had a working house fire. We had from a cooking accident, and also a person got burned. We had a couple of our vehicles, apparatus got into some vehicle accidents. So it was a very, very busy night for us overall.
I know the planning goes in, and I know that they were communicating the day before the storm. Sheriff was in comparing notes and getting the game plan together, and that all pays off. So we thank you and your team, the whole county team here. We will have an action item tonight to approve or ratify the declaration of the emergency. Travis called me on that, and I said to go ahead.
Mr. Chairman. I actually thought it was a really good idea not to open the shelter, considering the road conditions. If people had decided to, because their power was out, to venture out onto the roads to get to a shelter, I think we probably would have seen a lot more vehicle accidents. So I think because of that, it was a good decision not to.
And that is certainly one of the things that we take in consideration. Can we possibly do more harm by opening the shelter versus getting the message out to folks, shelter in place in their own home, understanding that the restoration of power is probably going to happen. We're not talking a week event. And most people the next day, I think almost the entire county had power back. And we also, you know, it's the message we always put out, and that is, you know, make plans, you know, for you to sustain, you know, your family for at least 3 days. Have enough drinking water, have a backup generator if that's what you need, have an alternate heating source, have enough food for you in case that, you know, these times happen. But I certainly agree.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have one more item. I was at our annual banquet. I provide a list of department accomplishments, and this is one thing that is I certainly feel as a chief that it's good to do, because a whole year goes on. We do a lot of good things, and sometimes we lose track of what, you know, until we cumulatively, you know, put them together. You kind of can sometimes forget about what happens throughout the year. But I was asked tonight to provide a list of that, and so if there's no objection, I'd like to go ahead and
Please
do that. This is a little lengthy, so bear with me. I'll try to make it get through as quick as I can. We break this down into 4 separate divisions. We have our operations division, our training division, our emergency management division, and our fire prevention division. And I'll start with training. And all this was done within the calendar year 2013. Training man hours total 3,768 hours. Classes held 2013 was an International Trauma Life Support Program, a ASHE Advanced Cardiac Life Support, CPR courses, Pediatric Advanced Life Support, U.S. Coast Guard Boating Skills Seamanship course, Department of Fire Programs Emergency Vehicle Operator course, level 1, 2, and 3, a Fire Officer 2, a Fire Attack Series, Rope Rescue level 1, Public Life Safety Educator 1, an Advanced Life Support Preceptor Update, a Rappahannock EMS Council Protocol Update and Rollout Training. Captain Henson and Firefighter Bowen completed the Tactical Medic Program. Captain Henson was selected and appointed to the King George Sheriff's Office Tactical Team. Lieutenant Walter Coates, Firefighter Donald Perry, Firefighter Michael Hirsch, Firefighter Philip Liggins all completed the 2013 Virginia Fire Officers Academy. Deputy Chief Robert Black completed Fire Officer Level 3. Camden Bullock completed his Nationally Registered Paramedic. Captain Stephen Lynn completed his bachelor's degree in fire science and graduated with honors. Myself, I completed the National Fire Academy Executive Fire Officers Program. In fire prevention, we work closely with the community and other divisions of our department as we conducted many public education and prevention programs, pre-incident plans, reviewed emergency plans, and many other activities. Installed smoke alarms in residences when requested, and approximately 25 alarms were installed throughout the county. Approximately 40 standbys for public education events. We spoke with over 1,500 children at various events in fire safety. We worked with the community development on numerous plans review and code-related issues and inspections. We worked with the King George Sheriff's Office and other agencies conducting fire investigations and other issues. Expansion of the Knox Key Box program on buildings in the community, as well as internally also upgraded our Knox MedVault system for narcotic security. We worked with the school system on the Governor's School Safety Audit Committee, along with several other organizations. And several members completed the Public Educator 1035 program. In emergency management, we managed to development and rollout of a mobile mapping software system. And this is a really big game changer for us because we had all of our map books were in a binder and they were all printed. And a lot of it used the old MSAG data. It was very hard to find places where you were going. This is all the digital mapping system uses GPS and does not use the internet. This past year we hit the big one when it came to grants. We received an Assistance to Firefighter grant in an amount of $669,700. And that allowed us to upgrade all of our mobile and portable radio system, where we have, instead of having a single band radio, all of our new radios are dual band. So we can essentially talk both in VHF frequency and UHF frequency. That allows for interoperability so we can talk all to our neighbors. We can talk to Westmoreland, we can talk to Charles, Spotsy, Stafford, Caroline, City of Fredericksburg, the various state agencies, etc. We also received $28,000 from the Office of EMS and purchased 2 additional Lucas 2 automatic chest compression machines. So we have a total of 3 of these in the county now. These have been vital in helping people and assisting people in cardiac arrest. It's a long way to do CPR from here to Mary Washington Hospital, and these things can provide a lot of assistance to people in need. We received $12,500 from a hazardous materials emergency planning grant for promotion materials so we can promote disaster assistance and emergency preparedness. We received the Storm Ready certification that was renewed by the National Weather Service. We scheduled and conducted a King George specific highway incident management training. We reappointed members to the local emergency planning committee. We used emergency management grant money to upgrade our computers in our training room. We secured grant funds for 2 Honda all-terrain vehicles and a trailer for the King George Sheriff's Office for doing search and rescue operations. We purchased a dual band consulate for a backup in the emergency communication center. So all these communications can come into one system at the sheriff's office, and they can essentially route them together and allow them to communicate with each other. Our emergency management planner, Al White, retired, and we have now replaced a hired person in that position by the name of Kim Wilson. Now, where the rubber meets the road is in operations. Just to give you some numbers here. I want to first mention that we did put the rehab unit in service. We have our first rehab unit. We're very proud of this. There's been a lot of hard work that's gone into this, and we've actually already put it good up to much use so far. We've gotten assistance from the Ladies Auxiliary to make this possible, and we're glad to have it in our department. We had a CPR save where we have a person that called, that was in cardiac arrest this year, is now walking, living, breathing, and back working in King George County. We thank firefighter Kevin Bowen and Timmy Pemberton for the CPR save, along with the assistance from the NDW base fire department. They were integral in that rescue. Lieutenant Jay Henson was promoted to captain. Firefighter Donald Perry was promoted to master firefighter. Firefighter Harold Myers was promoted to lieutenant. Firefighter Carol McGee was certified as an EMT intermediate. Firefighter William Taylor released as an intermediate. Firefighter Holly Carpenter was certified as an intermediate. Boat 1 was replaced with a new Zodiac style boat, including outboard motor. Boat 2 had an electrical system overhaul. We have new EMS equipment placed in service. 2 additional Lucas 2 machines, 7 suction units, and 3 King Airway Visions. All fire hose, all fire pumps, ladders, and SCBAs were all tested annually last year. Multiple child safety seat inspections and installations. We compiled data from CAD sheets and to make call statistics. We supported the Sheriff's Office by providing tactical medical support for medical special response operations. We were compliant with all Office of EMS and Virginia Department of Fire programs reporting. Some of the call data. We responded to 3,135 calls, and this was actually missing most of December. So we actually, 2013 was a little more than that. This was provided a little bit earlier on. At the time, we transported right at 1,600 patients to the hospital. So 1,600 trips to the hospital. 19 medevacs, air medevacs, 31 structure fires, 28 brush and wildland fires, 17 vehicle fires, 367 emergency medical assist calls, 249 motor vehicle accidents, 19 hazardous material incidences, 31 hazardous condition calls. These are your carbon monoxide detectors going off, propane leaks inside of residences, 6 aircraft standbys, 247 false alarms, 72 public service calls, and 1 storm assessment call. The total dollar saved value was $7,003,750 for 2013. Again, a total of 3,135 calls. 1,970 of them were EMS calls, 320 were fire calls, and 949 calls were calls where both an ambulance and a fire truck were both needed at the same time, car crashes, etc. At the time of the banquet, I said it was on January 10th. I said we received 62 emergency calls up to that date, and at the time I wrote it down. We had 4 more by the time I spoke. So today I just revised. We have from starting January 1 to today, we have 435. That's where we're at as far as incident numbers. So. And we all did this with no major injuries or line of duty deaths within the department. Some things upcoming for this year. Of course, we have the new arrival of Engine 11. We started the EMT basic class, and we have a full class of 30 students. We had 32 volunteer members took advantage of the personal property tax exemption ordinance, thanks to this board. We continue to follow the department's 5-year strategic planning model. and recommendations from the state study. We'll be filling 8 full-time vacancies, and 6 of them which will be assigned to Company 3 in Fairview Beach. With completion of the Company 3 renovation, we're working with the Board of Supervisors as we finalize a parcel of land for a new Company 2 station. We're working jointly with the Sheriff's Office as a partner on the new incident command vehicle. We're beginning a transition from the old King George alert system and City Watch system that we currently use into the new company called Everbridge. And Captain Lynn gave y'all a little bit of a briefing about that in the last meeting. The other one was the ISO. I think we talked enough about that tonight. And one thing we did, we've been struggling with this for a while, is adopting a department slogan that kind of reflects who we are as a department. And this is something that we've been thinking about for a number of years. And this year we officially went on record and we have adopted a department slogan, and it's our family protecting yours. Because we see us as a family of, whether it's full-time, part-time, volunteer, we're a fire rescue emergency services family. We're protecting your family. So we're going to be putting that on our website, a lot of our trucks and et cetera, and getting that message out there. So those were our accomplishments for 2013. Any questions? Sorry I took up so much of your time, but that's and I also have printed out some copies. If you want a copy of it, you certainly.
Yeah, I'd like to commend Chief and the whole team. I mean, I think that it's important that we got out the information about all that you've done, because it's remarkable. It's remarkable for what gets done in this county, and sometimes doesn't get recognized. And I couldn't be prouder of you all.
Just to add to that, Joe, when you consider where we were when all this started and where we are now, it is actually amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
Well, we made some difficult decisions 12, 13 years ago that now are finalizing and really becoming reality, and it's good to see. And couple that with the ISO report tonight. I mean, hats off to you and the whole team, the whole county team, because you are a team.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to commend them on one thing. About a month ago, my wife had an allergic reaction, and the squad and the fire department responded, and the ground was wet around my house, and the rescue unit got hung up. But they came back. I told them, don't worry about it. Get the ground. I'll take care of the ground later. But they actually sent a couple guys back later in the day and break the ground. I really appreciate that. That's above and beyond. They didn't have to do that. And my wife didn't have to be transported that night. The ambulance was hung up. No, she was okay. She didn't have to go. She took some Benadryl. But it's just to go above and beyond like you did. I told them, I said, don't worry about the mud, man. We'll take care of it. They came back later on and took care of it. So I appreciate what they did, but they didn't have to do that. And that just shows the commitment and dedication of our staff.
I thank Mr. Chairman, and that's, I get the good fortune of serving as our liaison to these great folks, and I'm always struck by the level of professionalism across all the services that are provided. And again, it's independent of whether or not folks are receiving a paycheck or doing this as a volunteer. I traveled with a group as we did the proof test on Engine 11, and amazing level of professionalism there, the calls that we run with them. So that's a testimony of your leadership, so thanks.
So now we can move on to the ratification of local emergency. Do you have the resolution?
I do. Would you like me to read it?
Yeah, please. It wasn't in the package. We didn't have it, so you need to read it, or you can present it. Yeah, copies. That's good. That's fine. We can adopt it as presented. Very standard.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we adopt the declaration of local emergency as is being presented to us now. That was due to the occurrence of the February 12th, 13th, 2014 winter storm.
Motion's been made and probably seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Thank y'all for your time this evening.
Thank you. County Administrator, change order number 1 for vehicle maintenance facility.
Yes, sir. As we were doing our demolition, we discovered a number of deficiencies as we were removing some of the interior finishes and insulation. It had to do with purlins in the ceiling area. Some of the walls were rotted, and we didn't see that prior to doing the design work. And the big thing was lateral bracing. As we did the demolition, we found that the lateral bracing was really deficient. So in order to shore up the building, we worked with the contractor and our architect, Wally Wilson, and developed this change order. This includes all of the work that we found through the last 3 months. And they never stopped work. They kept on working. I gave them some change directives so to keep it. I'm a little hoarse tonight, so I apologize.
Okay.
So this is to authorize the county administrator to execute a change order with Dominion Construction Group, LLC, to increase the contract price for the vehicle maintenance facility renovation project by $54,519.63.
So moved.
Motion's been made and probably seconded. Any discussion? And that funding is available in your contingency?
That's correct.
Okay.
We have plenty of money to do this.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries. Department of Finance.
The next item is to authorize issuance of warrants against the fiscal year 13-14 capital improvement fund in the amount of $282,350.03.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and probably seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries. We can flow right into the financial status reports.
Okay, the spreadsheet we have before you are the financial projections which show the actual revenue and expenditures through January 31st and the projections for February through June. These projections are reviewed each month through the remainder of the fiscal year and adjusted accordingly if necessary. For the general fund, as discussed at the work session last week, current projections show total revenue at $35,148,001, total expenditures of $35,325,002, with a preliminary projected shortfall of $177,001. There are a few revenues that we are tracking that are tracking just a little lower than anticipated based on the first seven months history. We have instructed departments to monitor spending for the remainder of the fiscal year to help reduce any projected shortfall. And for the schools, their current projections show total revenue at $36,292,220, total expenditures of $36,162,861, which is a projected excess of $129,359 preliminary. I wanted to also note that the original budget was based on an ADM of 4,100. There are some increased revenue and expenditures in the projections to reflect an ADM of 4,165. An additional appropriation request the state funds will be brought back at a later date, at a later board meeting to adjust the budget for that. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have.
Now, I think it's good that you brought this forward now. It gives Travis and the departments and you a tool to look closer at expenditures and watch revenues to see where they are going, and so we can take corrective action early to minimize the impacts.
Thank you.
Thank you. County Administrator.
Yes, sir. I'm going to pass out another draft of the Technical Advisory Committee Charter. I received two comments. One had to do with the committee establishing a meeting schedule at their first meeting, and the second having to do with the committee being established for a term of 1 year, and then the board deciding at the conclusion of that 1 year whether to continue the committee. We're proposing in here that there be 2 members of the Board of Supervisors appointed to the committee and 5 citizen members appointed by the Board of Supervisors.